Hello, welcome back to my channel. It's a bit different today, as you can see, a bit of a different video. I decided to film a bit of a review on what I use in terms of hiking and camping, what I've currently got, what we currently use. Ideally I would have gone outside and done it, but I haven't, and so here I am in my living room, so welcome to my home. Yeah, I've laid out a few things. It looks a bit of a mess, but I've kind of got a few camping bits, got a few sort of hiking bits that I also use for camping, but like I also take out on day hikes. So hopefully this video will kind of be quite helpful and useful. I am in no way an expert in kit, very much just see what's out there, like see what other people are talking about. Sometimes I buy things and it doesn't work out. Sometimes I buy things and they're great. Sometimes things are very expensive, so I can't afford the good stuff. Right, I thought I'd just let you guys see what I use. Hopefully you might get some inspiration. I will list everything in the description box below, so if you did like the look of something or wanted to find a bit more information on it, then you can find out for yourself. So I think I'll start off with the hiking bits. So here I've got the Rab Art Eco Jacket, and it's in like a mustard colour. Highly recommend. I think it's made from like recycled materials as well. Obviously Rabs are quite expensive. They're quite a high-end brand, but this is definitely worth it. I think if you're going to go out and do lots of hiking, I think investing in a good waterproof jacket is very important. So all the zips are very waterproof tight as well, and you get the air pockets underneath the armpits, which is handy, especially if it's raining and it's warm, which I hate because you're sweating on the inside as well as getting wet on the outside. I've got this in a slightly bigger size as well, just so I can wear my jumpers and fleeces underneath if it is a colder day. I absolutely love this jacket, and I actually really like the fact it's in the mustard. I probably wouldn't have picked it myself. Actually, I really like it, and it stands out from the crowd a little bit, which is nice. In terms of waterproof trousers, I just have some sort of cheapy ones, just Peter Storm. Yeah, these are just pull on over your boots and your trousers and pull straight off. You know, there's no lining to them in terms of keeping you warm or anything. They are just pretty basic, but they do pack down quite small, so to be honest I just keep these in my bag at all times. Even if I'm going out and it's forecast to be blue skies, they just live in my bag because they weigh next to nothing. I really like these. So the puffer coat that I've been wearing for many years now, I'm hoping to get one this season, but again they're just quite expensive, especially if I'm looking at sort of the Rab ones. But there's nothing really wrong with this one. This is a Montane one. Keeps me warm. I think everyone should have some sort of like puffer insulated jacket. I try and opt for non-down just because I try and reduce the amount of sort of animal products that I use, but that's just personal preference. I'm not completely against down because down is one of the warmest materials that you can get. I think this one, it was sort of recycled materials, and again when I buy a new one I will try and opt for non-down, unless I buy second hand, then I don't mind buying second hand stuff. Anyway, that's just my own sort of little ethical things that I like to do. Mittens. These are from a brand called 4Class. They are such a godsend on my hands, honestly. My hands and my fingers and my toes get so cold so quickly, and just it's impossible to warm them up on a hike, especially if it's a cold hike. And I'm a nightmare with taking photos and videos, so my fingers get really cold. And what I love about these, you can just slip them on. Oh, wrong hand. And you can still use things. It's got the touch. Has it got the touch thing? Actually, I don't think it does have the touch thing. Tell a lie. But you can just whip that off, and then you can still use your phone or your camera, and then you can just tuck them back in, and it's kind of like lined, and within a few minutes or 10 minutes or so my fingers are warm again. So highly recommend. I did feel like an idiot at first wearing mittens. I felt like a child, but honestly I've tried different gloves before and they just don't do, they're not as good as this. I definitely recommend these mittens. 2 new mittens was so good. I do have a buff as well. That's amazing. It's kind of a fleece lined one. Again, just it lives in my bag. Waterproofs, a buff, and some sort of gloves of some description are staples in a hiking gear and kit. In terms of leggings, now I tend to wear gym leggings, which obviously are made for the gym, not necessarily the outdoors where you get the different elements and the different weathers. These are some 4505s from ASOS, so they're not too expensive. They do have a pocket, which is something that I really value, just so I can get my phone out quickly for photos or look at the map. And it comes with a zip as well, so my phone slots in there and can actually be zipped up as well, which is great. Well, I definitely recommend these. I do like them, and you can get them in different colours, but they're just not great if it's a bit cold, especially if you're going up altitude and it's colder at the top. But this year, because it's winter or we're getting into winter, and I want to do some more proper winter hikes, hopefully, I have actually treated myself to some acai leggings. So these are the thermal leggings. I've still got the label on, so I'm not using it because it's not been cold enough. I'm very excited to try these out. Again, they've got the pocket on the side, which is great, and they sort of, I think they wick the water as well, so they're not waterproof. A bit of rain is fine, and then just shove these on top if it is raining. Fleeces. I love wearing a fleece. This is one I got recently from Colombia, but this one is actually from a brand called Khul, Khul. I actually got it secondhand. I really love buying secondhand fleeces. They're so easy to find. The blue one that I wear, that was a secondhand one. Vinted. If you're not on Vinted yet, you need to get on Vinted. It's honestly a little treasure trove. And I obviously got beanies. I got this one recently from Urban Bear. I really love this beanie. It's really cute. And I've got numerous beanies. My collection has suddenly gone through the roof recently, given the season. So yes, that's a quick overview of things that I wear, things that I just keep in my bag all the time. Speaking of bags, this is my backpack that I use for day hikes. This is a Low Alpine Trail 30 bag, so it's 30-litre bag. And yeah, I really love this bag. I think it comes in a blue colour as well, but I got the black with the orange. What I love most about this is it comes with the waistband. So I was using a Berghaus backpack before, but it was just a strapped one. It was very basic. Didn't really have any extra pockets on the front or the sides, and my bag would get quite heavy. These make such a difference and really help with the weight. They've got little zips on as well. You've got this breathable back space, which is great, just to reduce how hot your back gets and sweaty. Comes with lots of different pockets. You've got a pocket on the outside there, pocket in here. You've got a rain cover tucked up at the bottom, which is handy, just having it tucked in there. And then you've got some side pocket with zips, as well as like side pockets for your water. It's got the front pouch here, and then you've got the main body inside. So like I say, I just keep all this stuff in here, which I may as well throw back in, ready for the next hike. I need to get my buff from work. I will probably do more of what I actually take on a day hike and safety tips and all that kind of stuff in a different video in the future. This is definitely just more of a quick overview, quick sort of what I think, what I do like and don't like. In terms of boots, ever nicely displayed on the Sainsbury's bag, because they're a bit dirty. I use these Salomons. So these are the Salomons 3X Ultras. These are the 3 series, and I actually got these in a really good deal in Decathlon. So yeah, you can get some really good deals, and it was just, I think they reduced them. They were just like end of season because the 4s had come out, and it was like the last pair, or there was like 2 pairs left, and one of them was my size, and I honestly couldn't believe my luck when I went in, because I think we just went in on a whim. So yeah, absolutely amazing. I really love these boots. They're so comfy. They withstand a lot. I've had them now, I think I got them beginning of the year. Before these I was using the DLX boots from Trespass, which were great, but I think as I'm doing more and more hikes, yeah, just getting out more and more, they didn't last very long at all. Whereas these guys, these ones, there's a bit of wear and tear on it, just noticed that there, but there's like, it's nothing to worry about. I don't think I'll be hopefully buying any anytime soon. Sorry, I'm just like waffling along. Hopefully you're still with me and it's not getting too boring. So in terms of camping, you'll have seen I've done a few camping videos, done at least 2. So there's a Scotland trip that we went on this year, and then we've also done a wild camping trip in the Lake District. I will link those videos either up here or in the description box below. This is my rucksack that I use for bigger trips, whether it be travelling or backpacking or going out with the tent. This is an Osprey bag. I got this one last year when I did the West Highland Way, because I really wanted a good sturdy bag. This did the trick. Again, it's got the airy back to it. You've got the waistbands with the pockets. You can attach a water bladder. I don't know if you can attach a water bladder to this one. I'm not sure on that, on the Low Alpine one. What I like about this, it's personal preference. I like the fact that it opens almost like a suitcase. So it opens like that and you can see everything you've got. I just find that better to manage. I like to be able to, like I say, see what I've got. Whereas some people prefer top-down way of packing things. But I really like this, and this did me really well. This is a 70-litre rucksack, sorry. It's got a pocket on the front. It's got loads of different ties and things. There's lots of different rucksacks you can get. This is the one I've got for now. Angus has an Osprey as well, but again, that's the top-down pack way, and he loves that one, and that's actually really good. It depends what you're using it for, but I really like this one. And that's what I use for the bigger trips. This is a sleeping mat. This is the Peak Compact Self-Inflating Mat by Berghaus. This is just a 3/4 length, which for me, I think obviously if I was doing really cold camping, which I would like to do some winter camps, she says. You might want longer because then your feet and the bottom of your legs aren't touching the ground. But for general camping, I actually find this really comfortable. You don't have to blow into it or anything. If you've not used self-inflating mats before, they're really handy. And then it's really compact to pack back down, and it's quite small. I definitely recommend that one. They do a long version as well if you did want the long one. And again, I use that on the West Highland Way every night. I actually slept pretty well. Just so you can see this a bit better rather than it all squinched up. So this is the sleeping bag that I use. This is an OEX Fathom EV 3000. So I think it's a 3-season sleeping bag. It is great. It's got like, it's one of those sleeping bags with the hood and it sort of tailors down. Oh, who's this? I don't know who that is. It tailors down and it keeps me really snug. It's a really lightweight sleeping bag, weighing at kilo. It says here its comfort level is 1 degree, limit is -5 and extreme -22. Yeah, I'm not sure how I'll get on in the winter with that. I think I might need something a bit more warming, but otherwise, great. It's got this, once you packed it up, put the lid on and it compacts really quite tightly. Quickly talk about cooking. So when we went to Scotland, we started off with a Trangia. So I used a Trangia when I did the West Highland Way, just because that's what we had and I didn't want to spend a lot of money on something. Trangia's great. I used it on Duke of Edinburgh back a million moons ago. You know, it does the job, and you've got your different pans, so if actually you want to cook a meal, that's a bit more ideal, but it's quite bulky. So for Christmas I got Angus this Jetboil. Obviously you can't cook meals with it in the sense of different pans doing different things. It is just to heat water. But this one is the one which has the inbuilt starter, so you don't need a lighter in theory. And so when it's windy and you're using it outside, it just lights straight away. So we really liked it for that. And honestly, within a minute and a half, I think it is, this turns orange as the water's heating up. But within like a minute and a half, your water's boiled. It's crazy how quick it is. But look how tight that, like, it's so lightweight, it's so small and compact, really easy to pack away in your bag. So if you can, they're not cheap, but if you can afford one of these, again, secondhand maybe, or I think there are cheaper versions of Jetboil sort of system. And then we ate quite a few of these whilst we were away in Scotland. They're not cheap, the 5-pot meals, but we just quite like these as a treat, really, more than anything. They are very nice, and you can get them in a biodegradable packaging as well, which is great. Right, on to tents. Now I have 3 tents to talk about. Again, just a quick sort of overview. Where should I start? I'll start with this one. So this is my tent. This is the Vango Banshee 300. So it's a 3-man tent. I've not packed it very well. I actually got it secondhand on Marketplace and I used it for the West Highland Way, which, as you can see, is quite bulky, even though it's supposed to be a compact tent, and it only weighs 2.8 kilos. Not too heavy. It was a good deal that I saw on Marketplace. You know, I didn't have the money to be spending on really fancy, you know, I'd love an MSR tent, but they're really expensive. So this is what I got instead. Yeah, it did the job. It was just a bit, like I say, a bit bulky, but that's because I was doing a backpacking trip. I would happily use this again on a normal camping trip. Really easy to put up as well. Doing the West Highland Way, I keep referring to that, but it's the only time I've used it really. I'll use it in the peaks once, to be fair. It'd be raining, so I'd want to put it up really quick and then get it down really quick, and that was really easy to do. Yeah, I would recommend this tent. I think it's a Duke of Edinburgh recommended tent as well. It's an easy, not too heavy, just a bit bulky to pack away tent. And then we've got this one, which is another one I bought. And I got this in the sale from Go Outdoors, end of last year, I got it. And this is the Vango Banshee 200. So I've clearly got a Vango Banshee theme going on here. So this is the 2-man tent. This weighs 2.4 kilos, so only a tad lighter than the 300. We used this, you'll have seen, or you might have seen my Lake District video where we did like a 24 hours adventure and we wild camped in the lakes, which was amazing. Such a beautiful evening. We were so lucky with the weather. And this is the tent that we used. Yeah, it was nice. The only downside, unless I just put it up wrong, or I think we went out the wrong side maybe, because long sides had the doorway. There wasn't much of a porch. I feel like a porch is really handy, especially if you've got dirty boots or you want to keep your bag outside, or just if it's raining you want to keep things outside the tent. Porch is really handy. Maybe we just put the tent the wrong way around and was facing the view we wanted to see was not the side with the porch, but there wasn't much of a porch on this one. Yeah, I think the same with the 300 actually. I just would have liked a bit more of a porch, but again, really easy to put up. And then this one, this is the Berghaus Grampian 2 tent. So this is a 2-man tent again, and it weighs 4.24 kilos, so it's quite heavy compared to the other two. But we use this all through Scotland, and Angus has had this for a few years now. We have used it before on other camping trips. Both really like it. The door on this one is out the narrow ends, if that makes sense, the long ways, rather than the horizontal ways for those 2 tents. It's got a really nice porch space. It comes with a mat to put down on the porch, so instead of just opening the inner of the tent and you're on the grass, you're actually on a bit of the tent, which is great. Really handy. I really like that part of it as well. It's kind of out of the 3, we kind of always choose this one. Again, really easy to get up, really simple. Doesn't take too long. The only thing I'd say is just, it's a bit big. So it would be nice to invest in something that packs down really quite small, like an MSR. One day I'll be able to afford an MSR, or this will get big enough that MSR will send me a tent. Who knows? But they seem to be the ones that everyone uses, and the lightweight, nice fancy ones. That was a pretty much a whistle-stop tour of some of the gear that we use or I use for camping and hiking. Like I say, I will do more of an in-depth hiking specific video at some point, especially with some safety tips for solo hikers or solo female hikers, or just generally if you want to get into hiking, that will come at some point. But yeah, I hope that this has been nice and I'm not waffled on too much. I very much have just like talked at you and not moved for the past however long. So hopefully it's not come across too boring and you've stuck with me to the end. Like I say, I'll link everything down below, or as much as I can. Yeah, if you've got any tips or any pieces of kit that you use and you'd highly recommend, please let me know and comment down below. Hopefully the next time you'll see me, I'll be on a hike again. Hopefully you have enjoyed this and it's been helpful. Give it a like if it has been helpful, and please subscribe if you like this kind of content and you want to see some more, because it's really helpful and really supports me, like I said in my last video. I will see you soon.